stand out and show yourself as who you really are, it's so dangerous. You can be watched or followed, or you can be arrested at any time. It has been happening like more than 50 years.
Phyu Kwaitian is Myanmar's first lady of rock. She isn't afraid to show her true self. In fact, at every given opportunity, she pushes herself to the limits of what she calls her caged existence as a performer. Because she believes that this is her way to help redeem the people of a nation that after 50 years of tyranny are still living a lie. Myanmar is a complex society where right and wrong are often impossible to tell apart. The nation has been built upon a foundation of lies since 1962. 5 decades later, even after breaking free from the authoritarian military rule, people are accustomed to saying and believing what isn't true.
Knowing the truth, saying what is right, is always seen as wrong. So we'd better lie rather than being imprisoned.
The imprisoned include the artists of the country like Phyu, who for years has been bucking the trends through her untraditional performance style and by singing in metaphors. Phu's metaphorical performance is planting the seeds of transformation in the country's artistic scenario. This is what we look at today on Asian Threads.
Asian Threads. Spinning the tales of Asian communities and cultures, their personal accounts, their history, and their literature. Asian Threads. This program is sponsored by the Wing Foundation.
Myanmar's media has been strictly controlled since the 1962 military coup. Everything from poetry to film is censored, filtering not only the criticism of the government, but most bad news, including reports of natural disasters. But under reforms introduced since 2011 by a new government, it has unblocked international news websites, exiled Burmese news websites, and YouTube. But Phyu says that in a country led by a so-called civilian government of ex-generals, only their costumes have changed.
Change is sometimes not a miraculous bang. It could be an everyday issue. We understand that. But it's really very slow. And there are a lot of practical issues that makes us not convinced.
While change may have happened on paper, attitudes still have a long way to go. Things like discrimination, corruption, bribery, and control are still very rampant. But why this desire for the government to control?
It's not about religion. It's not about ethnic groups. It's not about anything. It's about money. It's about business. They robbed the country.
Phu's sister Nyonyo is also her manager. She says that this robbing of the country has happened over 50 years and in broad daylight.
They destroy the education system so people have no power to question and think. They block all the outsiders so people won't see. So they can rob the country under broad daylight. They break down the universities, health system. So people left crippled physically, mentally.
And they never encourage thought-provoking questions. The education system is systematically, deliberately destructed.
When it comes to art, the government has made deliberately sure that artists of any genre, performers, musicians, dancers, poets, have absolutely no access to training. Like all the other artists in Myanmar, Phyu was almost entirely self-taught. As a teenager, she sang for the Emmanuel Baptist Church Choir. This was about all the training she ever received, along with a few books on how to take care of her voice, sent from France a few years later by her brother and sister-in-law.
The recording studio are crappy, no sound engineer, no trained sound engineer at all. Everyone is self-taught. The lighting system, barely exists. The stage do everything else. We have very limited revenue to improve all that. We have only one proper theater for the spectacle. And that can hold only 1,500 people. It's called National Theater.
And we don't have music companies anymore because of that rampant piracy. They can't... No IP laws. And we don't have PR teams or the stage performance and management teams.
I have to do everything. She has to do everything, the lighting system too, You have to teach the lighting guys how to put the lightings for each song.
At the end of the day, there is no time left to be creative. Creativity, after all, can engender the rise of a soft power, something that can cause a threat to the authoritarian way of thinking, even now.
Well, creativity, it's related with thinking, talent, knowledge, or intelligence. And it's a kind of revolution too. So every creation is under control, under ridiculous censorship. Because creativity could lead to, it's the main part of that soft power. For example, in our Hollywood has soft power, and it even helps the real administrative power of their own country, right? But it is seen as a threat here, because when the soft power, people who could get soft powers are the artists, the creators of art. If they are paid well, they will have money also. Soft power plus money means a big threat for the robbers.
So how can a musical artist true to her cause actually bring truth to the people when she is constantly being watched over by the big brother of the ex-military? For Phyu, it's a matter of singing in metaphors. Take the example of her song Lang Kway, a cover.
It's about leaving a lover or survival. I have to sing it with forgiveness. It might seem like a love song, but it's the daily life of our people. In your country, you may not need to leave your lover for survival. But here, we have to leave our cherished relationships. We have to leave our beliefs. We have to leave our lovers just for survival, to have a better life tomorrow. So it has become one of the greatest hits.
Many of these people who have left their loved ones go abroad in search of a better life. They've become Burmese exiles, a group of people that clings dearly to the idea of home through Phyu visiting performances in the countries where they now reside. Lang Kway is just one example of a song in metaphor that reaches out to such people. The lyrics were translated by her composer, Myint Mo Aung. He says he doesn't like to write politically sensitive lyrics, but to me, Lang Kway sounds like the perfect example of something that would be politically sensitive. But Myint Mo Aung says that he can't be accused of this, you see, if he writes in metaphor.
Metaphor writing is useful when you want to avoid danger, and also to express general thing, general feelings. So you choose metaphor way of writing. And he said he's not a person who would like to express all his political thoughts in songs to provoke other people. His style of writing is like that. He leaves room for thoughts, so he can't be accused of writing political stuff. And the choice of words too. He put the theme in a very general term, so people can pick up it in any sense.
Nyo says that there is no choice for her sister but to use metaphor because being explicit is dangerous. A hip-hop singer known in Parliament was recently arrested for this very reason. Phyu is continually reminded of this, and so even though she stretches her boundaries, she cannot risk being arrested. But it's more than that. Using metaphor in her performance gives Phyu the ability to connect with her audiences.
There is a connection between the fans and us, me and my fans. When they see me, they understand something that sometimes I couldn't even understand. That I am with them, that I am one of them. The feeling is very important. The trust and the feeling from the crowd that I am one of them. And I try to give you the metaphor that being one of them and one of us from the sight of the people.
And to truly connect, Phyu does outlandish things on stage, things that are atypical of other Burmese performers. Of course, she doesn't consider these to be performance as much as something that is completely natural.
Sometimes I cry on stage, sometimes I laugh on stage, sometimes I show my anger on stage, sometimes I show my feelings. I do what I want, I do what I feel. So actually I was not doing the performance. What I understand about performance is there are two things. One is some performance you can prepare, like the stage, the decorations, the songs, the style, the costumes, the accessories, the fashion, of course. But another thing is that your mood and expression, it depends upon the feeling, your personality, and mainly the magnetic field between you and your fan.
John Nguyen, the owner of Star Academy, organizes many of Phyu events. He says that just like Lady Gaga, she can get really crazy on stage.
On the stage, she do all sorts of things that, very entertaining. But not like holding the one mic and singing, and then finish and then go home, I mean, the sound might be popular, People might like to see performance, She got the kind of performance that we liked,
What is that? What does she do on stage?
I think you can see her on the video or anything. She do all sorts of funny things that, like people are like shocking and they're looking at her, all these things. So all her voices and, she do dancing, running around, I mean, I think she's the only one that I saw.
Phyu constant quest to buck the trend is not limited to herself, but is reflected by everyone she chooses to work with. Consider Jade Dragon, her backup dance troupe which was started by Tetphone Neng, a self-trained street dancer who was thrown out of his home at the age of 17 for taking to the extremely untraditional style of dance looked down upon by society and his parents. It was instant chemistry because he recognized that she was as crazy as he was.
They're crazy in the way that they want to do new things and different things whether people accept or not, and always trying out for new things. He studied other dance group and then he wants to create what other people have never done yet. And he thinks in that matter they match each other. And they always go for the crazy things. They're passionate about their work and their creation, however different it would be from the mainstream.
Phyu considers Jade Dragon to be so much more than simply dance support for her performances.
They push me to the extremes, and he can teach me to go to the extreme. And I love doing the risks and go to the extremes and to the edges that I could do. And they can help me go to that extreme with their creation. They not just support me on the stage, they can even teach me, and he can even compete me on stage, because I have never found any performer who could compete me on stage in my 1 decade of career.
Why are you looking for that competition?
I get bored without any competition. I used to sing, but I also want to dance together. But some of the singers, they used to do like a lip sync. I never lip sync. I really sing. And I want to mix it together, and I want to master it in both parts. The type I want to go is a performer with serious singing. Because, the performers, not all performers can't be serious singers. And not all serious singers can be performers. But I have realized myself that I am a mixed type. And I want to be like that.
One example of their crazy acts involves having Phyu step on Tetphone and his male dancers with her high heels. In Myanmar, such a feat is unthinkable for females.
In Burmese culture, men are supposed to be superior, and they lost their superiority when they go under their lady. When he create dancing step for her, sometimes he just lied on the floor for her to step over them. And that's shocking for the Burmese audience, but at the same time, they receive it very well.
To me, it sounded like another metaphor, outlining an age-old way of thinking that both Phyu and Tetphone want to change, especially when you consider that the song they were performing to is about a queen who breaks hearts. But even so, she faces so many restrictions. A culture of rampant piracy, for one, helps her to achieve fame at the cost of actually making money. For a population of 60 million people and a fan base of over a couple of million at least, she has sold only 10,000 records officially at $2 apiece. On the other hand, her pirated records of about 30 US cents apiece have reached millions. And then many of her songs just won't be played on local radio. Neng Zo is the lead guitarist in her band Lazy Club. He says the political situation has influenced the owners of radio stations.
You
can own a radio station only when you're close to the regime. So the choice of the songs and the progress of the music culture is limited by the radio station as well as the number of the radio stations too. So you can broadcast the songs that only those people prefer or appreciate. Like, you don't have any hip-hop channel, you don't have any modern rock channel, you don't have any alternative channel. Although there's several, 4 or 5 channels, they are doing the same things, copying each other.
I couldn't fathom why radio stations wouldn't play these genres. What's so dangerous about rock?
Among the young people, rock music is regarded as a revolutionary music. And they have different lifestyle, the long hair and the dress style too. which is too outrageous for the old school thinkers. So they think rock is dangerous because it's associated with revolutionary idea and lifestyle.
Nengzo calls Phyu art rainbow music because it blends so many different styles, trying to sway people to stronger music by introducing them to the softer parts. Rhythm and blues, industrial rock, modern rock, soft rock, and pop ballads. He says that Phyu herself is a revolutionary artist for Myanmar.
Some artists, they can commercialize, but they have little artistic value. And there are some artists with big artistic value, but they live a bohemian life. But Phyu has a very good combination of the artistic value and the commercialization. And that's why he thinks the whole country is falling in love with her.
Though it might be hard to accept, the chimes of freedom began to ring after President U Thein Sein assumed office in 2011. The heroine of Burmese freedom, Daw Aung San Suu Kyi, who spent the better part of 15 years under house arrest, was finally released. Controls over the media were relaxed. There is no question that the country's art scene will be part of Myanmar's transformation.
It's a government policy to make a propaganda that West is bad, the Western culture, corruption by the Western culture. There was a time which that idea was more rampant. To translate word by word, you cannot keep people in darkness anymore.
Till very recently, artists were considered bohemian folk, not respected in society.
There's a word in Burmese which is called pakwasa. Pakwasa is those people who doesn't eat with proper plates. So artists are not valued. Those people that they don't value are now having proper position.
Daw Aung San Suu Kyi is a huge supporter. As a young woman in New York, she herself lived with a friend who was an ex-Burmese pop star. And in recent years, she has made public appearances with Bono, the lead singer of the famous rock band U2. Already, one hip-hop singer from her party, the National League for Democracy, has been elected into parliament. Perhaps the next breakthrough will come about if she is formally elected to be the country's leader in the next election. And then Phyu is a leader herself, not just as an artist, but as the Secretary General of Myanmar's Music Association. A leadership position that goes beyond the borders of her art to address the politics of the country's music industry itself. Is she paving the way to possibly being able to lead the country herself one day?
Because she got not only the artistic value, she got the leadership property and her education level too. So that can take her to some heroic place someday, like leading the country.
Phyu will perform at the Fringe Club in Hong Kong on April 10th. It'll be her first ever performance to an audience that does not strictly comprise the Burmese community. For a daring performer who is used to showing her craft to audiences of 30 to 40,000 at a time, a club audience of 200 at the Fringe is but a mere wave in the ocean. But could it be the wave that rides the current, bringing the sands of Myanmar to foreign shores?
Where have all the good men gone, and where are all the gods? Where's the streetwise Hercules to fight the rising odds? Isn't there a white knight upon a fire steed? Late at night I tossed and I turned and I'd read off what I need. I need a hero. I'm holding out for a hero till the end of the night.
Asian Threads is sponsored by the Wing Foundation.